Hey, how's it going? Mike Gross here, Rocking Guitar Lessons 1. This is a tutorial on a paid service I offer. It's a transcribing service for guitar as well as bass. And they're called CBT and CT Guitar and Bass Lessons. That stands for Custom Video Tabs and Custom Tabs. By the way, make sure you subscribe too. Click subscribe and hit that notification bell. And that'll let you know anytime there's a new video on this channel, which is very active. I just did, you've probably seen it, I just finished up the 2-week long sale called the RGL Blowout Sale for prior CBT lessons that have been done. Just tons of them. By tons, I mean many, many hundreds, probably in the thousands. That's how many. I've been doing these for like 12 years. But what this is about is anything that you want. Most people want songs / solos or both. It's a great way to learn. It's actually how I learned. For us that weren't able to get lessons, at least for me, it just sharpened my ear because I was that much more determined to learn what I wanted to learn. And I did it wrong a lot of the times too, but you don't realize as you're going through this as a teenager, you're building your ear as time goes. And I was fortunate enough to be able to start teaching full time in the early 90s. So I was teaching students all throughout the Inland Empire in Southern California. And then in around 2012 is when I opened up my YouTube channel. And within a year and a half, maybe 2 years, I'd been getting emails from subscribers on my channel asking if I would teach them songs. I was teaching it on Skype at that time, but this was a separate thing where they wanted me to transcribe such and such song with the solo, and so that's what got the idea going to start these. It came from you guys. I just needed to come up with a name. I had already been doing this type of thing. It's what I do. It's my job. So that's where I came up with the name Custom Video Tabs, and I thought a lot about it because the custom would be for those. It's a paid service, so there's no sense if you've already got some parts down and you're happy with them, you feel they're accurate. No sense in paying me to do that for you. So you may want to learn whatever song, Stairway to Heaven, but you already know the whole intro. But you never learn the solo and the verses and the other parts. That's what custom means. V, that's simple enough. That means you're going to have a video lesson. T, that's pretty much common sense. That's going to be your tabs. If you've been playing for a little while, you know what guitar tabs are. It's a handwritten. As a matter of fact, I got a sheet right here I could show you. We do new tab sheets. I like these a lot. So each line represents one of the guitar strings. The bottom one is string 6, which is low E. The top string is string 1, which is the high E. The frets that you play are written on those lines, which are strings. And then circled numbers is fingerings. I have a cover sheet that gets emailed to you as well. And it has all the techniques that, all the techniques are covered. It doesn't mean all those techniques will be in your particular song. But it's a cover sheet, it'll be the same all the time. When you come to a slide, people have different ways of notating this stuff. Mine's a little more kind of old school mixed with some of the newer stuff that just makes sense. Stuff shouldn't be super technical crazy in your mind, and that's why people struggle with reading traditional music, which I can do. I learned that on my own, but it's so thought involved. It's a balancing thing between reading that and being able to play and have it feel right. So tabs, I've always told my students, this is just a shorthand method to help you memorize what you're playing. When you watch a band play with your whatever favorite guitar players and stuff, they're not looking at sheet music when they're playing. If you're in an orchestra setting or jazz, you'll see that. Or a classical thing, not uncommon. But for the most part, this is all about memorizing the parts of the song. And then you also do that when it comes to guitar solos. And that's where you hear the term all the time. I say subgrouping. It's taking a smaller chunk of the big picture. If you got a solo like this, you have little riffs in there that players use in other bands in other songs. So I set them up with that and timestamps so you can follow along with the song and the solo if you lose your spot. I have cymbals I use for rests and breaks, if it's a staccato hit or whatever. Just kind of a simple way to do it. Now it does involve your ear to a point. Well, if you're a musician and a guitar player, you need to be using your ear anyways. But the whole concept of the tabs is to memorize the parts. Okay, once they're memorized, you don't need this anymore, you put it aside. But anyway, so we'll fast forward a little bit. So custom video tabs, that would be, you get everything tabbed out that you asked for in detail, handwritten, not spit out by a computer, that has no feel, or you can distinguish between a F note on the high E string and then an F note on the B string. I try to get the exact way these bands are playing these songs and solos. However, I do get requests for simplified versions that want the keys to be changed. That all falls in the custom category. When they're completed, these are scanned by my wife Jolene. She handles all that and sends them to your email along with the link to your video. So that's the CVT lessons. The CT lessons is exactly the same thing minus the video. And I do, believe it or not, get students that they pay me just to do the tabs for them. And they're more usually intermediate players that don't need the video, but most people like the video, even players that have been playing for a while. It's nice to have that because you can see sometimes how something's picked. Having that visual can totally help. So I know this is a little bit longer than they usually are, but I felt like I wanted to more thoroughly explain this, especially since I just did that RGL blowout sale with the tabs, and explain exactly what these are now. So what you need to do, if you're interested in these, is email me, rockinguitarlessons@hotmail.com. It'll be in the edits and the description, and list as much as you can in detail as far as what you want. I prefer you to send me the link. I use YouTube when I'm transcribing a song. I pull up like a lyric version of the video, and that's for my audio. Sometimes I'll pull up a live version if I'm not sure on how a part's being played and I want to see them do it in concert. I'll look at the live video. Keeping in mind they still change stuff when they play live, right? It's not always the same as the studio, so it's really a balancing act on my end, but it helps me construct your lesson. Okay, so if you can send the link, that's perfect. If not, I can type it in on YouTube, but just let me know exactly what it is that you want. If you want the whole song plus a solo, maybe you just want the solo, that's fine. If you don't want to go the song route, I can do a lesson structured on whatever it is you want to work on. You're soloing, you want to improve on that. You want to be more diverse as a soloist. Get into different styles of soloing, blues, metal, rock, country, whatever it may be. So those are all things, it's up to you. I do have students that are in bands as well that like me to transcribe these songs for them, or in original bands. I help students construct songs and construct solos for songs. I try to inspire, give you the ideas, and then you work to put that together. If you hit a wall, I'll help you with that. Part of the service as well is when it's completed, after you have them, you work on it. If you have any questions, we'll exchange cell numbers. By all means, I want to make sure that you're comfortable and you understand everything in your lesson. So I'll wrap it up there, guys. That's the whole situation with CVT and CT guitar and bass lessons that are available for you. When you email me, I'll get you a price, and you make your payment. I use Zelle, Cash App, and PayPal. Once you make your payment, I'll schedule it, and I'll give you an ETA about how long it'll take to get to you, and then you'll be scheduled in the books. So that's all. That's everything. If you have any questions, you can email me as well, rockinguitarlessons@hotmail.com. I'm Mike Gross, Rocking Guitar Lessons 1. We'll talk to you guys soon. Keep rocking.